in a move that I'm sure surprises not a single Philadelphia Eagles fan. The NFL, just like the media, for the same reasons as the media, want this story to go away, and they will not, as you can see, be investigating Mike Vrabel in any way, shape, or form. They didn't do an investigation and say, no, nothing to see here. They just decided they aren't even going to look. Mike Vrabel will not be subject to NFL's personal conduct policy after photos with Diana Russini League says. Of course, we know it is about a lot more than photos. Photos of Vrabel and Russini at a luxury hotel in Arizona and a subsequent internal investigation led Russini to resign from The Athletic earlier this week. Now, listen to this because this is important to talk about. The NFL is not reviewing the conduct of Mike Vrabel in the wake of these photos. Uh, Vrabel's been subject to scrutiny after those photos went public of the Patriots coach and Russini. McCarthy said the league would not be reviewing whether Vrabel violated the NFL's personal conduct policy, which states that players, coaches, and executives must not engage in conduct detrimental to the integrity and public confidence in the NFL. Yes, you heard that correctly. They don't even believe there is enough to investigate the possibility that Mike Vrabel engaged in conduct detrimental to the integrity of and public confidence in the NFL. We all know Russini resigned. She played victim in her resignation letter, which I won't even get into here. Vrabel and the Patriots haven't talked about it at all. Vrabel, of course, will be attending the NFL draft at some point. He's going to be in front of the media, and it will be interesting to see if anybody who would actually ask Vrabel about this will be given credentials and be allowed to do so. I'm not buying it. As we know, and it said here, I did another video, that the post page 6 said, hey, we won't run this story if you can provide evidence of this girl's weekend, right? And of course, for Mike Vrabel of his scouting trip, I believe Arizona State was what he was talking about. And of course, they could not do so. And we all know in this day and age, I mean, you had uh, receipts, credit card statements. If you, paid on your phone with an app and all that, you could instantly show it to people. There'd be video, there would be pictures, and on and on and on. But let's talk about why this is the problem. No, you know what? First, let me back up a second because you got a lot of people trying to talk about this, trying to dismiss this with this idea of, well, one, the whole personal thing. We know it's much more than that, but also talking about, well, this type of thing goes on all the time. That's a real problem. But let me say for now, no, it doesn't, and say what is different. It is a lot different. And coaches, GMs, owners, they do this stuff all the time. Well, they will put stuff out there, okay, that they want to get out, that they want to turn into a story in hopes that a reporter, and they may give it to a specific reporter in a conversation or whatever, in hopes the reporter runs with it, right? Huge difference from this situation where we know because of their relationship, Mike Vrabel, if he wants a story out there, if he wants a narrative built, like, I don't know, A.J. Brown being unhappy in Philly and wanting to go to the Patriots, he knows with 100% certainty he can give that to Diana Russini. Hell, it might have been Diana Russini who concocted it and said, hey, Mike, what about this? Okay, not the same thing in any universe. This does not happen all the time, unless, of course, that is the reason media, ESPN, now the NFL doesn't want to touch it in any way, shape, or form. They want nothing to do with this. Let me ask you this question. Speaking of conduct and things and corruption, it wasn't a girls' weekend. Who paid for this fake girls getaway at this very expensive, very exclusive adults only hotel or resort? Because I have heard that rooms at this place upwards of $4,000 a night Who footed that bill? Do we think that is something that Diana Rossini could have hit? Well, I mean, I guess she could if she's got the whole thing locked down with the girls' weekend and the husband did no digging. But of course, the husband was probably the person who hired the PI. Look, here's the thing: the NFL doesn't want to investigate this for a few reasons. I think partially it is the Philadelphia Eagles, right? They don't want in any way to help the Philadelphia Eagles. They don't want to find out that Vrabel was in cahoots with Diana Rossini, dirty Diana Rossini herself, NFL concubine. They don't want to find out that they were tampering to get A.J. Brown to the Eagles. And, to that point, I just saw another thing where another reporter, Britt, I can't remember her last name, but her and Diana Rossini actually got into a cat fight because they were both sleeping with Sean McVay at the time. Yeah, the head coach. So, I think that the NFL has a lot of reasons they don't want to investigate this. They know if they truly did investigate and got to the bottom of it, they would find out that, yeah, one, he was tampering, but they would find out that this stuff going on all over the place. Organizations using these types of relationships to tank a player's trade value or draft stock or whatever it might be. But yeah, this is looking really bad for the NFL. They're in panic mode right now. They do not want anybody talking about this situation with Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini at all. They want it to go away, but it's not. I mean, it's tough in the day of social media, especially now with Elon Musk, where he's not going to suppress stories like this on X as a favor to anyone, which, I wouldn't put it past me if the NFL has had that relationship with other people at other times, but that is not happening here. So it's possible with all of this continuing to build that maybe eventually the NFL does have to say, hey, you know what? We've we might have to actually check this out. We might have to actually check this out. You know what? I skipped over. I just want to go back to one last thing. It was kind of funny because this was before, right? If you know her resignation, a lot of people were like, "Oh, she wasn't fired; she resigned." Yes, but we all know how that works. It was, we're going to give you the opportunity to resign. If not, we're going to fire you. Um, but among other things in her resignation, she said, she's stepping aside, quote, not because I accept the narrative that has been constructed around this episode, but because I refuse to lend it further oxygen or to let it define me or my career. Now, you all know our first tweet after all of this happened, which was a few days later, was just about an NFL referee situation, and she got absolutely torched in the comments. There's like thousands of comments all about the Vrabel thing. But now we know after, this was at a time when she was hoping people were still buying the Girls Week getaway story. Now we know that didn't happen. So I wish we could get another statement from her. I wish the resignation came after because she can't spin it anymore. She provided zero proof. She was there to meet Mike Vrabel, period. Oh, the last thing I wanted to add is the NFL wants to bury this too because, NFL concubine, a lot of people would probably be upset losing access to dirty Diana Rossini. Let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe. Really do appreciate it. I will talk to you all later.